Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel, The Spiritual Justice Gym. I'm Goddess Quita, or you can call me Quita. Either one would do. I answer to both. Right now, we're just going to get straight into this video. And this is about the bloodline of the individual that created Satan. Not Satan, but slavery. It's a satanic, it's people that worship the devil. It's a bloodline of high priests, meaning of men that are they're in the spiritual realm. They have gifts in the spiritual, in the spiritual way, but it's in a negative, a demonic way. And these are the people who created slavery. They did the negative energetic work to manifest slavery because they didn't like Black people. They didn't like Native Americans. They didn't like anybody who were more wealthy than them. I know it's going to be hard for some people to believe, but if you tap into spirit and tap into your intuition, you too can actually achieve the point of enlightenment and be shown this truth. This particular individual, we talk about the serpent's bloodline. You guys already know who I said the Antichrist is. So yeah, if you don't, this person know exactly who they are. They got a grimoire of books, a grimoire how to create a slave, a grimoire of how to create basically people with mental disorder. That's what slavery was about, because incest is you going against yourself, going against your own family. And when you incest, the food we ate, everything, down to every piece, nook, and cranny of everything that was done to us in slavery was to keep us oppressed, to keep us down. And they have a grimoire of this. And this person, he's in the spiritual community. I already talk about him all the time. He's in the spiritual community. He have a grimoire of all this stuff. He know exactly who he is, because he been tapping into my gifts since I was a child and stealing all kind of enlightenment information from my aura, from my bloodline. He knew who I was before I knew who I was. And spirit has awakened me to see this and to understand what this bloodline have done. This this generation is over 5-6 generation of high priests, of men that did this. Yes, of men. They created slavery. They did this over and over. Each generation, each person, they critiqued their child into this particular religion, and they make sure they wasn't in America, because this is where they put the curse at, over here in America. You get what I'm saying? So they can be on top. Okay? We already know who did this. We already know what is who the Antichrist is, who the Antichrist bloodline is. If not, then I'm gonna ask you to go back in some previous videos of mine. This particular individual is a male lineage of high priest. They purposely did this. They consulted with Satan, with demons, with lower level entities, with entities that were against the greater good of all. This is what they did. And not only did they did that, he was stealing from my generation each time, because when they took us in slavery, and they we was torn from our language, from a lot of different things. And so we had bits and pieces of ourselves everywhere. And now that everything is being back in the line, because nature corrects itself. And I don't want to put this out. I'm not led to put this particular part out, but their lineage is being cut short because of their wickedness, because of their deeds against the Most High Saint. And their sins are unforgivable, God said. They're unforgivable. Their souls are eternally damned. Okay? These particular white men who did this didn't like people of a darker color, people who had more insight into the spiritual world than they did. And what they did was run around and collected all these cultures' information and all these cultural rituals, religions, backgrounds, history, and they consorted with demons. They consorted with demonic entities, demonic spirits. They allow demonic entities and spirits into their bodies to do this. High level in the spirit, in the low vibration and demonic way, they're high level demons, high level, high level spirits. And this is something that, how can I put it, is unforgivable. So God said the whole bloodline is about to be wiped out. The whole bloodline. Because of they had almost 500 years of us being enslaved of Black people and Native American people who were actually Egyptian, African American, Africans, however you want to call it, whatever name you want to give us, you know who I'm talking about. They have done this over and 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 over again. God said you could forgive your brother 10 times, 10 times, 10 as many times as you need to, as that person needs to. But it also in the Bible says that if you don't have a Christ mindset, then you're not my brother, then you're not my sister, then you're not my mother, then you're not my brother. You see where I'm going with this? So this thing that they did was unforgivable. Unforgivable. It is taking a lot of energy for me to channel these messages right now. And it's taking a lot because it's a lot of frustration coming in from the ancestors. They have built their time, their effort, and their strength to come through at this point. They not only stole from us generations back, but they have the audacity to steal now. They have the audacity and get mad because they feel like they created you. They feel like they made you when God had already placed the gifts inside you. And they mad because they can't feed off your gifts anymore. Have the audacity to be mad because they can't feed off your gifts and think that they're the God that gave you the gifts when they were stealing the whole time. The audacity of the people who serve Satan. The audacity. What in your... You know what? It's because you serve the most low and not the most high. That's why you feel like you're entitled to my energy. That's why you feel like you're entitled to my kids' energy. That's why you feel like you're entitled to my ancestors' energies. Not ancestors gonna have a time whooping that ass. They finna have a good time whooping that ass. They already been whooping that ass, okay? Now they finna have a great time doing it. And that's the thing. They don't want them to die just a simple death. They want it to be horrible. That's what the ancestors said. That's what the ancestors is coming through saying. Oh my God. So you guys, this is not from me. I'm just a vessel. The ancestors are highly pissed at the serpent's bloodline. And the people who are rallying up with the serpent's bloodline, and you know that they were the ones, because there's some people that know that this bloodline manifests slavery. They know. These warlocks, these high priests that manifest slavery. They know. And then you willingly sit there and participate it. Woe be unto you. That's all I can say is woe be unto that ass. Woe be unto that ass. It's a lot of the same Black people that sold their soul to you. You know who I'm talking about. And then the person that was supposed to be close to me that sold their soul to you, and then the other person, the wife of this particular person, sold their soul to this man. That's why they can't stop being jealous. That's why they can't, because it's an extension of the serpent's bloodline. That's why they want it, so they can put that jealousy, so they can keep the Black community divided. That jealousy, that envy, and overeating, that greedy spirit, so that they can keep the Black community divided. That's why they didn't want us in church. That's why they didn't want men running the household. That's why they didn't want Black families being a whole unit. This is why. Jealousy, envy, rage, just greediness. This is why. And for 500 years, you guys have reigned, and now it's over. It's over. You can use whoever Black person you want to use through spirituality, through selling of their soul, through entering their alpha and their omega to implant your negative spirit. You can use them too. They're expendable because they were already tricked. They better get around somebody and start cleansing that mess off of them, because the same person, why your life is in the way it is and why Black people suffer the way they is, you done sold your soul to that very person. You sold your soul to their whole bloodline. You know how tricked you got to be to do some ish like this? You know how unprotected you got to be to do some ish like this? You sold your soul to the very person that made you live that awful life. The very person that made your mother live in a community to do the things that let her significant other do the things that they did to you. You sold your soul to this person. You joined this group. And then you thought you was doing something positive. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the audacity of this bloodline. It's not totally your fault because you didn't know the truth. If you had known the whole truth, then you wouldn't have done it, of course. But here we are. We make the choices that we made. Your intuition guided you. God let me know that your intuition, every step of the way, every decision was there. Just everything was screaming at you, and you went the opposite way. So I don't feel sorry for nobody who's affiliated with this particular bloodline. I don't, because if you were a good person, and you would have followed the Christ in you. You would have followed. You would have heard. It would have been screaming at you. You couldn't have done certain things that other people can do. I could never, because my mindset is the mindset of Christ. That's why. I'm out, you guys. Peace.